Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another live episode here on social media where I help bring you expert advice to help you have a better life and a better business. I am so pleased to be here today with the two Carolyns. Isn't this exciting? Of course, if you're tuning in on my channel, you know that my name is Kim. I'm the author of Write and Grow Rich, where I show entrepreneurs how they can supersize their brand, their business, and their bank account by writing and publishing a book to grow their business. But on today's show, what we're here to talk to you about is all about emotional intelligence and how, for better or for worse, it is impacting your business. So I've got here with me the two Carolyns, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about an awesome event that is coming up on May the 7th, Friday, May 7th. And really, it's time for an emotional revolution. Okay. Emotional intelligence is a skill that can be learned and developed and enhanced. And research has shown that emotional intelligence is a critical skill that managers use to get the best results from their teams. So if you are a manager or a leader in your business and you would like to boost productivity, employee engagement, and help get better results from your teams, then you're going to want to listen in and then join us, of course, on May 7th. So Carolyn Cooper McHewitt, why don't you take it away and tell us a little bit about the platform that you're inviting everybody to on the 7th, and a little bit about how people can register and get involved.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kim. I am so excited about the Grand Connection event on May 7th. It is something that I've been curious about for a very, very long time. Our organization brings businesses from around the world, and we'll have over 100 people at the event. And we call this event our expert speaker event. And we have the honor of having Carolyn Stern come and share with us her wisdom. She's helped over 10,000 businesses teaching them about emotional intelligence and the impact that has on their leadership and their results. She brings over 2 decades of training with her. And Kim, you're right. It is time for an emotional revolutions, and emotions do matter. So here to teach us about emotional intelligence at our event is Carolyn Stern. So Carolyn, I welcome you, and please feel free to share with us a few tips or some ideas on what you're going to focus on at the Grand Connection event on May 7th. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. So the event is really going to talk a little bit about taking a moment to step back from your life and kind of feel, well, what have been your emotions? We've all gone through a myriad of emotions this last year. What's been going on with you internally, and how is that impacting your organization? So I think a lot of organizations move forward making decisions, but they don't realize how emotions impact those decisions. A lot of organizations, have communication issues, which is one of the reasons I'm brought in a lot of times. But a lot of the reasons, the root cause of disagreements or miscommunications all has to do with your emotions. So in this workshop, we're going to talk a little bit about, why emotions matter and the impact that they're having. But really, what is emotional intelligence? It's really being intelligent about your emotions. Right? It's being bigger than your emotional response. And the challenge is we never learned that in schools. So as an instructor, as a university professor, I give students stress. I don't teach them how to manage it. I put them in teams. I don't teach them how to work within those teams. And so what this workshop is really giving you an opportunity to start to figure out, what is my emotional makeup? For me, as an entrepreneur, I'd say the biggest aha moment, and the reason why I've been doing this for as long as I have and have trained 10,000 leaders across North America, is because as soon as I learned that independence was my lowest competency, and people always say, well, Carolyn, you're an entrepreneur, you run your own company, you're financially independent. How can you lack independence? Well, the issue is I still do have a very overbearing mother. And so as a child, I sort of never got to learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. And so how that impacts me today as a 50-year-old woman is I ask a lot of reassuring questions to my employees. In fact, they tell me I pay them to reassure me, which is probably true. I care too much about what people think. And so that's how mine, I call it wobbly bit or development opportunity, shows up. But each of you have. So Carolyn, you have your own Kimberly, you have your own. We all have our own emotional makeup that made us who we are today, for good or for bad. And what this workshop is really going to talk to you about is, what is the emotional state of our world, right? What is emotional intelligence, and how can you use it to make better decisions? How can you use the data the data that emotions provide to make good behavioral choices? Because as leaders, if we're not focused on how people are feeling, then how it shows up is in their behaviors. And so you really need to get to the heart of the matter and figure out what is going on for your people. Because let's be honest, COVID was the change. That was the event. But the transition, the emotional and psychological response people have for change is different. And so as we start to reopen businesses, as we start to move to a more hybrid model, what are you feeling about that? And how are your people feeling about that? And how they feel at work determines how they perform at work. So if we ignore what emotions are telling us, we're ignoring a big part of the equation of what makes us who we are and how we do what we do.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything you said just lands with me so much. And I remember somebody saying at one point, when emotions go up, intelligence goes down. And it's really, especially when it's in, in a work environment, or when it's a heated exchange of some sort, or when there's disagreement or some sort of conflict, right? So I think this is such a timely topic, especially for right now. I mean, we are in a really unique environment where we've got a diverse workforce. We've got an online workforce, a work from home workforce. So how are we managing this from afar as well is something really, really great. And the other thing that popped into my head was that Maya Angelou quote about people never remember what you did or what you said, but they always remember about how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. So what an important topic right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And the key really is if we don't focus on people's feelings, right? We tend to judge the behavior and attribute an emotion to it. But why not get to the heart of the matter and just really ask your people, how are you feeling? So the way we always recommend all our clients, what they do as a beginning for a virtual meeting or live, is go around the room and do a one-word feeling check-in, right? How are we feeling? And a lot of people's emotional vocabulary is limited to about 5 words. But there are over 300 emotions that we can feel in a day. So why is our emotional vocabulary so limited? Well, the challenge is we've never learned this in school. We never learned this in the workplace. And so emotional intelligence is exactly what you said, Kimberly. It's being more intelligent and bigger than your emotions, smarter than your emotions, because your brain kicks in and you have this amygdala hijack, and it thinks you're in danger, but you're actually not in danger. So how can we teach the brain to, as much as I'm feeling something, this too shall pass? Feelings are not facts. They're just feelings.
Awesome. So if you want to learn more about how you can have a greater control over your emotional intelligence and learn some really great tips, strategies, and techniques to get this in check and help your organization perform better going forward because of your increased emotional intelligence, then you need to join us on May 7th. So Carolyn, why don't you take it away with how people can get registered and where they can go to get to be able to tune in on the 7th.
Great. So May 7th is going to be an extraordinary event. Carolyn Stern is just the expert, and I'm so excited to learn what she is going to share with us because it's so significant right now. And at the Grand Connection, we are here to bring you the resources. So on May 7th, it's from 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Please, we'll put the link down below here that you can register. You can go to grandconnection.ca under events. It is a free event, people. You'll have an opportunity to network as well as break out into meaningful mastermind groups after Carolyn's presentation to dive deeper and share what you've learned. So please join us on May the 7th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Thank you.
Awesome. Wrapping up. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Join us on May 7th. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, stay positive.